last week's double eviction. The remaining 5 acts now do battle in the X Factor semi-final. With the life-changing recording contract at stake, your votes are more important than ever. The X Factor semi-final. Tonight at 8 on ITV1 and ITV1 HD.
We all have our favourites.
Things are about to change in Weatherfield as its golden anniversary starts this week, and you can catch the first ever episode of Coronation Street from 50 years ago at 8 tomorrow night.
Coronation Street, sponsored by Harvey's The Furniture Store, bringing your home to life.
What countless shoes have worn these cobbles down.
Almost 50 years of Coronation Street have brought us plenty of soap stars who've become part of our everyday lives.
Oh, I hate Mondays, me. Nothing ever happens.
But every now and again, something does happen to make us look twice.
Good evening.
Eric, you look like a different bloke.
Oh, we were all thrilled when we heard Peter Kay was coming in, because he is like the northern hero, isn't he?
Yes, sometimes these cobbles are trodden by stars from a very different walk of life.
It was one of the most enjoyable weeks of my life, I think.
From rock stars...
What's the game then?
Outside the cobbles. I was dead chuffed with that.
...to royalty.
I've got to get to the town hall to meet Prince Charles.
Thank you, Your Royal Highness.
From movie stars.
I will consummate my genius, if I may be so immodest.
You slept on the floor in Emily's front room. Sir Ian McKellen on a camp bed.
To comedy heroes.
Dear old Norman Wisdom.
The street's famous fans don't need asking twice to take a trip to the Rovers.
Why wouldn't someone want to be a part of that?
I didn't hesitate.
It's just great to say I was in Coronation Street.
It's one of those shows that's legendary.
I have such good memories of it.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
So join us as we reveal Weatherfield's celebrity secrets and remember some of the street's starriest moments.
Francis Rossi.
Yeah, you're right, mate.
And the other one.
Hey. It's class, isn't it?
There's nothing new about cameo appearances in Coronation Street. In 1973, the 13th Duke of Bedford invited the cast to film an episode in his humble abode.
Is there a bar in the house, like a beer house, you know?
Not as far as I know.
Oh, we shouldn't have. I mean, it's thirsty work going around here, isn't it?
When we filmed with the Duke of Bedford, we all went to Woburn Abbey, and we filmed for 3 or 4 days in the Abbey, which was really lovely.
And in 1971, comedian Bernard Manning provided the entertainment for a night out.
It might not be funny, but they're clean.
Though not everyone was amused. Many other comedians were to follow in Bernard's footsteps.
How do you do?
Max Wall left his funny walk at home for a part in 1978, and comedians Roy Hudd, Bradley Walsh and Craig Charles all became established members of the cast. But one of the most famous comedians to take a starring role on the street had in fact already appeared in the show 6 years earlier.
You want to watch that? If that gets stuck down there, you'll soon know about it.
God, he looks about 7. God love him.
Ah, Mr. Elliot, come out here. I want to show you this sign.
But by the time he returned in 2004, it wasn't as the shop fitter, it was as a star turn.
Oh, we were all thrilled when we heard Peter Kay was coming in, because he is like the northern hero, isn't he? You know, we all love Peter Kay.
Good evening.
Eric, you look like a different bloke.
He transformed himself with that wig and the look and everything, and I thought it was very clever what he did.
Did he have goofy teeth as well?
I was like, don't put them in, it's ridiculous. And he was like, I'm putting them in. So I had a row about that. But he won, obviously. And Peter will go mad at that.
Eric, lad, didn't see you.
Yeah, how convenient, eh? If I remember correctly, 4 years ago.
Yes, I thought you'd remember that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like the Rain Man when it comes to money, Jack, you know me.
And I thought it was one of the funniest bits on television I've seen in a long, long time.
Should we go?
Oh, not so fast. Have a drink here first, on me.
Mum, she's embarrassing me. You know what mums are like.
They're very underrated, in my opinion. Although I can't believe you're Shelley's mother. You look far too young.
Oh, thank you. You can't be looking close enough.
Oh, you're right. The neck. I can see the neck now. That's the giveaway.
Hi.
My favourite scenes were the ones with his mother. Daddy, go outside.
Who's that?
It's my mum. Hiya, Mum. I thought you were at Jazzercise.
It got cancelled. Marley's got groin strain.
They were just such a brilliant double act. It was just, you know, classic Coronation Street.
Eric's not brought a friend home in... No, he's never brought a friend home.
He goes, I have.
I have. She forgets. She forgets.
You are? Stick kettle on. I'm up now.
Yeah. And that comedy chemistry wasn't an accident, as all three actors had worked together on the Northern Club circuit.
Do you keep fit, Sonia?
It's Shelley, Mum.
I know.
It was a bit old school, really. It was a bit of sort of mates together, really, again. But it was a good laugh.
Hey, have you told Sandra what your father used to call me?
Shelley.
It's Shelley.
Dolly Daydream, eh? And Peter was great. He was saying, just press your funny button, you'll be all right. Dolly Daydream.
What did he call you?
Eric.
It's a great thing when people can bring an authenticity of the North into the show, and I think that's when it works best, and it worked very well with him.
I had a lovely night tonight. Great, wasn't it? Maybe we could do it again sometime. Do you fancy Monday?
I don't think so.
It's the humanity, the ordinary people.
But I thought you liked me. I thought...
It's not you.
It's the comedy of it, but at the same time, it's day-to-day lives. Has she gone yet?
That's what it is. I've already been involved with a fella torn between two women. I'll not put myself through that again.
My mum?
Shame it didn't go on for a bit longer.
Are you sure she hasn't stolen the phone money?
Right. That's it. If I were you, Eric, I'd cut the apron strings before you ask another girl out. Thank you for the meal. It was lovely.
You better get off to bed, Eric. Your electric blanket's been on for over an hour.
Yes, Mum.
But where Peter played it for real, another national comedy treasure who appeared on the street played it strictly for laughs.
That was a joy.
Norman Wisdom made his fleeting appearance in 2004, playing fitness freak Ernie Crabb.
I was transfixed on Maxine's bench, and all I had to do was look at this strange little creature, like a little tadpole dressed in running gear.
And he's one of those wonderful old comedians who can't help going into his act. So you didn't actually meet Norman Wisdom, you met the character he's created.
He is how you expect. He's slightly batty.
And from one batty comedy character to another, in the 1970s, millions of viewers adored Andrew Sachs as the hapless waiter Manuel in the classic comedy series Fawlty Towers. 3 decades later, Andrew's biggest fan was desperate to see him on Corrie.
My wife has been a viewer since it started in 1960, and she was adamant that I would watch it, otherwise she wouldn't marry me. And when the chance came up to appear in it, she said I had to do it, otherwise it's divorce. You know, it's one of those things.
So in 2009, Andrew took on the role of Norris's half-brother, arriving from Australia, desperate for a family reunion.
What do you want?
To see you, to have a talk. Well, don't you think it's time we did?
No, I'm not sure I do, no.
Something the matter?
Oh, yes, something's the matter. You can say that again.
I'm Norris's brother, Ramsay.
Unfortunately, Norris didn't exactly roll out the red carpet.
You won't even talk to me?
No, I won't.
Not a good start, and it can be nerve-wracking for the actors too.
It's a bit like being first day at school. You think, oh, well, are they going to like me? Can I do it? Oh, what's the teacher like? What do I have to do? I've tried building bridges.
Well, some divides can't be spanned.
Half an hour. We're into it.
This was very cosy, I must say.
Sadly, Ramsay failed to make peace with Norris.
But we've made progress.
No, you've confused progress with politeness, no more than that.
So, after 27 episodes, he returned to Oz.
Being on a show like that is so traditional, it's part of Britain, isn't it, in a way? It's like having a medal pinned onto you, for services rendered. That means a lot.
Right, get the kettle on.
Coming up after the break, celebrities to really make a song and dance about.
It was like a special gig that only we were invited to. And all the viewers of Coronation Street as well.
But first, some stars who appeared on the street before they were famous. But can you guess who they are?
Could I have a still lemonade, please, if it's not after time?
Oh, God, I can never remember the names.
Time, Dennis, is the enemy of man.
Honestly not got a clue.
Number 8.
Number 8.
2 and 3, 23.
Bernard Hill. Bernard Hill. No?
Oh, it's not often it's as quiet as this, I can tell you. Bernard, that's my husband, keeps on at me to get some help, but it's very difficult these days, you know.
As we all know, the retail grocery trade is going through a revolution.
Did she go on to be a singer or something?
Find out after the break.
Coronation Street, sponsored by Harvey's the Furniture Store, bringing your home to life.
A circle and a spiral, a wheel within a wheel, never ending or beginning on an ever-spinning reel, as the images unwind, like the circles that you find in the windmills of your mind.
Live the lows and highs of live sport with BT Vision. TV from BT. New Magnum Mini Liqueur. Irish cream and limoncello. Full Magnum pleasure in mini size.
At every Currys and PC World, get 6 months interest-free credit on all laptops and desktops, like this 4GB Packard Bell dual-core laptop. Just $369, £130 off. There's £170 off these stylish 4GB Packard Bells with smart, ultra-fast Intel Core i3 processors, only $429. With up to 20% off network drives like this 1TB Western Digital. For only £99, our lowest ever price, access your data from anywhere. Now at Currys and PC World.
I can start all over again. I can listen to my own rhythm. I can believe. Says who? Only the brave. The Fragrance by Diesel.
Right now, Scottish oak smoked salmon and bread en brew champagne, exclusive to Waitrose, are half price. Merry Christmas.
Whatever your dream kitchen, you don't want to compromise. That's why Wickes has designed a range of 30 stunning kitchens with a choice of contemporary design features like these African granite worktops and a selection of stylish innovations, but all at surprisingly affordable prices. A kitchen you can be proud of. It's got our name on it. Wickes.
Currys, up to 60% off health and beauty gifts. This Philips shaver is down to £39. Perfect Christmas gifts at Currys now. Armani Code, the fragrance for women. Giorgio Armani.
You don't always have to be at NatWest to be at NatWest. In fact, more and more people are choosing to do their banking wherever, whenever. It's why we'll continue to provide UK call centres with staff on hand to help 24/7. It's why we give all of our online banking customers free security software. And why we offer mobile banking that helps you manage your money on the move. These are just some of the commitments in our customer charter that are helping us to become Britain's most helpful bank. To find out more, visit our website. NatWest. Helpful banking.
O'Grady would like you to celebrate 50 years of Britain's favourite street.
Join me for the ultimate Coronation Street quiz.
As Corrie stars and celebrity fans put their knowledge to the test.
Let's hear ya.
Corrie, the Big 50 with Paul O'Grady. Next Friday at 9, ITV1 and ITV1 HD.
Coronation Street, sponsored by Harvey's the Furniture Store, bringing your home to life.
Welcome back to Stars on the Street.
3 pints of the brandy, please, love.
Let's see if you did as well as the cast did in recognising those famous faces.
Kathy Staff.
Just surprising what you're in a pub, isn't it?
And friends.
Oh.
Okay. Well, not Starsky and Hutch. What's the other one? Professionals.
Martin Shaw. Have I won anything?
What's called? Wash your ears out, Lover.
Oh, wait a minute. Is it Tim Healy? Good grief.
Of course, I did think I might get somebody in part-time, but it's finding the right person, isn't it?
Another of my heroines, that's Patricia Routledge.
I'm all right for Saturdays. It's Mondays and Wednesdays I'm needed most.
If anything I've said seems confusing, well, that's what dialogue is all about.
Oh, I suppose so. Oh, is it the woman at the back there with the...
It's Mel B from Spice Girl.
Oh, and there in the... That is hilarious.
Yes, back in 1993, Mel B was more sulky Spice than scary Spice.
I look really moody. Why do I look so moody?
Come on, please. The locker room is not the place to discuss your personal life.
I did work with Curly Watts a lot in the supermarket.
Oh, hello, Curly.
Hi, Mrs. Duckworth.
I remember that well, and then I used to nick the chocolate. Yeah, I did.
Is that all your shopping?
Yeah, why? Is something wrong?
Melanie's brief appearance in Coronation Street nearly changed the course of pop history when she was approached about the role of Fiona Middleton, eventually played by Angela Griffin.
It would have been very different. I would have been in Coronation Street and my dad would have been very proud.
Instead, Mel B was left to ponder which direction her career should take.
I had no idea where my life was going to be going. I knew I was going to hopefully be in the entertainment business, but I didn't know how, where, what. I was just going for it. Will it be dancing, singing, acting, anything?
But it didn't take long for her to find out what she really wanted.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. 3 years from then, I was shouting, yo, I'll tell you what I want. Funny how life can just flip-flop on you like that. From stacking shelves with Curly Watts to being part of the Spice Girls travelling the world. Yeah, wow.
Hello, Grandma. Where's the toffee tin?
But Mel B wasn't the only pop star to begin her showbiz career in the street. Take a look at this little monkey.
Kisses, Grandma.
Coronation Street was my springboard into show business.
Hey, hey, we're the monkeys, and people say we monkey around, but we're too busy singing.
A lot of English people live in America and Canada and the places that I go to, they're familiar with Coronation Street. So they say, what, you were on Coronation Street? No, you weren't. Yeah, I was. It's not like I sold 100 million records too, but you were on Coronation Street.
It's nice to have a bit of money in your pocket, isn't it, Grandma?
Yes. That was my first taste of professional show business. And it started on Coronation Street. I'm a Coronation Street kid.
Leaving the street to become a pop star is one thing, but in 2005, Corrie turned the tables and tempted 2 of Britain's top rockers to take a break from touring and stop off for a pint in the Rovers.
3 pints of the brandy, please, love.
Initial idea of doing it was just, oh no, surely not.
And when the band's name appeared on the script, some of the cast didn't know what to think either.
I'd seen on the script something saying, and then status quo. And I thought, what is the status quo?
The lads you're with there, I just can't put my finger on it, you know.
Status quo?
What?
I don't understand the question. Unless that's the answer.
La 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 like it, I bleeding well like it, it's whoa, whoa, the band.
Then realised it was the band status quo.
Right, the 70s lot, huh? Oh.
I thought, Jesus, where have they got them from?
Status quo.
Who? When I heard the Quo were coming in, it was just, is this real?
I like it, I like it, I la 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 like it.
Status Quo had been part of the Battersby storyline since the family arrived on the street. Les was their #1 fan.
Les needs to be alone with the real love of his life.
Status Quo?
But off-camera, actor Bruce Jones was just as keen and a regular at their concerts.
Bruce comes to see us a lot and I said, well, look, it's a new gig. I'd love to stand in that one, just stand in the pub in the background, you know.
The boys! Hey!
And about 2 years later, someone came up with a script.
Rick! Francis! It's really you!
The idea of having permanent whiplash is just phenomenal.
Well, you know, as in the case with all the Battersby Brown storylines, it was over the top.
Francis, don't. 20 years of pain. I've never seen myself hitting anybody before. Well, you wouldn't, would you?
20 years of him moaning.
It was farcical.
Top curling, so fluffy and light.
Fancy giving him a test drive?
Yeah. Nice bounce. Oh, ouch.
You can't do that if you think about it. You just, you know, if you're doing it properly, if you think about it, you can't do it.
Most of all, it was meant to be fun.
The wedding presents. Cat smashed up all his wedding presents. What are you doing?
You spoke! Come on, lads, join it!
The telly out the window. It's something I've wanted to do all my life, and he gets to do it.
This one's for Keith Boone! One, and a two, and one!
But when it came to the grand finale at the Corrie wedding of the year, the band were finally back on home ground.
I was relieved to get back to doing what we do rather than what they do, you know.
It was a really party atmosphere. We was all singing along and rocking all over the world.
And then in the background, there's my mum. I think she's just over Audrey's shoulder, just having a quick nosy at the Quo.
It was like a special gig that only we were invited to. And all the views of Coronation Street as well.
It was one of the most enjoyable weeks of my life, I think.
While the Quo were happy to be back on the road, another music star was looking for a complete change of direction. After the breakup of Boyzone, Keith Duffy was delighted to receive a call from the street.
We're gonna be so good.
And for some, not a moment too soon.
I always remember a story what he told me, even though he played in front of thousands of people with Boyzone, he turned around to his nana, I think it was, and said, Nana just got a part in Coronation Street. She said, oh, thank goodness, Keith, you finally made it.
Shell, this is my mate, Kieran McCarthy. Shelley, good to meet you. Yeah, he's Welsh, in case you've not guessed.
My granny often mentioned, my God, you have your parents worried sick about you, you know? What we'd be getting up to in this music business and so forth.
I never kissed on the first night.
It was when I got the job in Corrie that my granny was happy and content. She went, oh yeah, that's my grandson, you know? So all of a sudden I had a cool job.
The role of Kieran McCarthy was specially created for Keith Duffy, but wasn't intended as a long-term character.
Audrey, Eileen, this is Kieran, he's a mate of mine from the Navy days.
Pleased to meet you.
I got a call from my agent saying they want you to do a 3-month contract. Will you go over? And I said, absolutely.
How are you stopping?
I went over for 3 months and I stayed 3 years.
You certainly look happy.
I am. I think I'm the happiest I've ever been.
And the women loved him in Coronation Street. I swear to God, Betty loved him. She used to go weak at the knees around him.
Got a bit of an eye for older women as that, Kieran.
Oh, well, you might be in with a chance then, eh?
Oh, please.
And they all did. All the women of a certain age loved Duffy in that.
He was loving Corrie because he hadn't done an awful lot of acting. And what a way to learn how to act, you know, on one of the biggest shows on telly.
Stop, you're making me blush.
2006 saw the end of Kieran McCarthy's time on the street.
You off?
Yeah.
Well, good luck, Kieran.
But could Kieran make his own Rovers return?
The character was never killed off. And I have to be honest, I hope one day, you know, the opportunity arises that Kieran McCarthy is back pulling the point in the Rovers. I'd love it. Last orders there, ladies and gentlemen, please.
I'm going to Weatherfield, Cock. Pub called the Rovers Return, Coronation Street, if you know it.
Yes, pulling a pint in the Rovers is high on many a celebrity wish list. So when in 2002 Julie Goodyear's return to the street was cut short by a sudden illness,
That's better.
a replacement landlady was just a phone call away.
Your grandma's very happy.
I got a telegram and it said, Julie Goodyear, total collapse. Rovers return needs manager for 2 weeks. Interested, question mark. You know. Hey, does Dolly Parton sleep on her back? You know, yes, interested.
You made it then, Lillian?
Oh, yes, no problem.
Oh, this is it. This is the Rovers. A poor thing, but mine own.
She came in at the 11th hour, and a totally different person behind the bar that we've had, really, if you think about it, since lovely Annie Walker.
Oh, dear. She was a real hard-faced madam.
She had a touch of that about it.
Now then, can I introduce Gina and Shelley? This is Mrs. Spencer, the new landlady of the Rovers, your new boss. This is the start of a new era, is this?
I suppose there was a hint of Doris Speed in my head because I had such admiration for her. But I'm from Hull. You don't need to base it on anybody. I based it on everybody I knew, you know, all my mother's friends.
My name is Lillian Spencer, not Lily, and never, ever, ever Lil.
So you want us to call you Lillian then?
No. I think Mrs. Spencer for now.
She was so sort of posh, but you could see inside that she was just like a girl from Yorkshire.
Is that the opinion of the bitter little barmaid?
She looked like a landlady, didn't she? And she looked like a Rovers landlady. She had the stance, she had the poise, she had the stern look in her eyes. No messing.
How dare you? How dare you? What exactly are you inferring, you atrocious little man?
Who do you think you're talking to? I don't have to listen to you.
No, you don't. You can get out.
Go on, you bard.
Bard?
Bard! You can't bar me.
Oh, yes, I can. Go on, clear off.
Are you going to let her talk to us like this?
She's the landlady.
It was just very patronising. Between us, I do like to see my clientele dressed smartly, especially in the evenings. Was that a pint, Mr. Webster?
Yes, please.
Gina?
For Maureen, her appearance had special significance, as her husband, the late Jack Rosenthal, had written and produced Coronation Street in its early days.
It did feel absolutely the right thing to do. It was like a completed circle somehow. I'm not sure the prize was worth the sacrifice. I did go reluctantly. I had very much enjoyed my time on the street. I'm sure our paths will cross again one day.
They will. It's a rum thing, is life. I say it's a rum thing. You never know what is going to throw you next.
I did rather hope that, you know, Julie might not get better.
Coming up, more famous faces from pop royalty.
Then panic set in, he was alive.
To real royalty and a Knight of the Realm.
Sir Ian McKellen.
What I suggest is we go back to this place we'll have to stay.
Total love.
But first, more stars who appeared in the street before they were famous. But who are they?
Taking it through to the backyard. It won't be away there, will it?
Harry Potter? This is an Alan Bennett, is it?
These decorations, made in the presence of your witnesses, are the ones required by law.
Oh, I definitely know his face. Is it? What's he out of now?
Come to Liverpool with us tonight and I'll bring you back in the morning.
You know, they've totally changed our facade.
Good. I don't know the real names.
Well, they've done a good job with the lads. You don't have any more trouble, son?
Ian McKellen, is it?
Oh, no. Sean.
Find out after the break.
Coronation Street, sponsored by Harvey's The Furniture Store, bringing your home to life.
It's a great feeling. Suddenly find the clouds are silver lined when the sun breaks through. It's a great feeling to walk down the street and see the folks you meet smiling.
Are you getting the most out of every day, even in winter? Actimel is a delicious drinking yoghurt, packed full of exclusive Alcacai Danon.
It's such a lovely place.
Come out and play this winter.
Knowing you can always come home gives you the courage to go further. Now, if natural disaster strikes and closes the airport, our extended travel insurance won't leave you stranded. Live life without boundaries. HSBC Premier from the world's local bank.
Food can make a good party a great party.
So I bring in some experts. M&S.
Giant tiger prawns wrapped in pastry and slow-cooked tender pork belly squares will get everyone talking. And if you must have sandwiches, make them mini dessert sandwiches.
So, with a little help, you really can be the hostess with the mostest.
These symbols seem to say, check out your home insurance.
Go compare, where people go to save some dough is Go Compare. So waste no time, go online, go compare. You might be riding about the siding, and you'll thank your stars that you went to Go Compare.
Who's that figure?
Go Compare.
Ever wondered how much time you spend in boxes? Curvy new Hyundai iX20. Why spend life in a box? With our 5-year triple care package, including our unlimited mileage warranty.
Fahrenheit, Absolute. The new fragrance for men by Christian Dior.
Phil Collins is going back with his #1 album. Going Back, a collection of 60s soul and Motown classics. Phil Collins, Going Back, the perfect gift for Christmas.
Come out and play this winter. Win one of 50,000 winter days out when you buy special packs of Actimel.
Bring on the girls! I'm essentially looking for someone tall. Own hair's always good. Own teeth, a definite bonus. You look like a bad boy, I love a bad boy. He's short, I'm short. If we put together, we'll be a point.
Let the winkle see the picker.
The hottest dating show on TV is back. Take Me Out starts December the 11th on ITV1 and ITV1 HD.
Coronation Street, sponsored by Harvey's The Furniture Store, bringing your home to life.
Welcome back to Stars on the Street.
I will consummate my genius, if I may be so immodest.
Oh, you may.
Time to see how many of the famous faces you got right this time.
I think it's Gordon Kay from a Lower Low.
Well, it's funny how one sister can be so much wrong about another sister.
Dennis, will you now take the ring and place it on the third finger of Jennifer's left hand?
Is that Geoffrey Palmer? Geoffrey Palmer, brilliant. I love him.
And I hope you'll both be very happy, Mr. and Mrs. Ten.
Hey, what about my order?
I know his name. I know it'll come to me. Kevin Whately.
Oh, Hans, you are a scream.
Molly Sugden. Didn't have a pussy in that, did she?
Then, Fair. You don't mean Councillor Fairclough?
Of course I guessed who it was. Yes, he's a fine, handsome man who's going to have a fine career.
Despite an already established theatrical career, Patrick Stewart's 1967 appearance in Coronation Street meant he was able to boldly go where he'd never been before.
It was my first television appearance. I didn't actually own a television set.
You're not having any more trouble, son?
That's what you think.
Well, it looks a bit of a mess to be sure, but then you've had a fire, you know.
I was a working class boy from the West Riding of Yorkshire. The stars of Coronation Street were to us as remote and celebrated and spectacular as the stars in Hollywood might be to someone today.
Oh, it could have been a lot worse, you know.
Worse?
Good, that.
So for me to appear on it signified to my parents and my family and friends that I had made it.
Dennis? Tanner. And it's your house, is it?
No.
Oh, I see.
Coronation Street was the only series that I'd ever been in. And so I went, when I was cast as Jean-Luc Picard in Star Trek, I was convinced they would come to their senses quite early on and say, we're awfully sorry, Patrick, and, you know, here's your fare home. Well, of course, it didn't work out like that, and 7 years later we wrapped the series, and then 4 feature films later we finally said goodbye to the next generation.
For Patrick Stewart, Corrie came at the beginning of a stellar acting career. But for fellow British superstar Sir Ian McKellen, the wait was much longer.
I met Ian McKellen way back, I think in the 60s. I mean, he told me then that his aim was to be in the street one day.
Oh, these dusty cobbles.
I know, and the litter.
The pigeons.
Noisy, filthy things. He wanted desperately to do it because, like me, he'd grown up on it.
Where you see on the litter and trodden down dirt, I see the history of generations of folk. What countless shoes have worn these cobbles down.
He slept on the floor in Emily's front room. Sir Ian McKellen on a camp bed.
Oh, very good. It was a lovely idea, the rogue author, all the ladies, of course, falling for him.
And one in particular.
Oh, Sir Ian McKellen. Total love. I'm sorry to have to say. He knows it, I told him.
Thank you, bless you.
Mel Hutchwright was supposed to be a bit naughty and a bit of a con man, but dear heaven, it was wonderful. I just fell in love with Mel Hutchwright, and I fell deeply in love with Sir Ian McKellen. Much good will that do me.
And she enjoyed herself enormously.
I've been dying to get my hands on your crowning glory. Looks like a real challenge.
There was innuendo and spark there, but it was naughty, but it was still fun.
Not for someone as skilled as you, I'm sure.
The right side of naughty, really.
But on one occasion, it almost crossed the line.
He was doing this saucy man, and we were in the Rovers.
So, what I suggest is we go back to this place where I'm staying.
Audrey had had a lot to drink, and he'd had quite a lot.
The place that you're staying happens to be the home of a very good friend of mine.
What, do you want her to join us?
No! And then he did this wonderful thing where he just kind of climbed over me. Well, I was in hysterics. I'd like to think I was the only woman that had been jumped on by Sir Ian, but I doubt that's true.
Oh, if I don't get out there quick, they're going to be at it within the hour.
But while Sue Nichols got the chance to flirt with Sir Ian McKellen, for Bill Roache it was a somewhat different experience.
He was really snide to Ken.
Well, if it isn't the nitwit in knitwear, I'm afraid I started without you. Do you do this as a favour, or do they pay you money?
They pay me.
Really? For this? I respect a man who has no truck with vanity, and you've only got to take one look at Ken to realise that he's a stranger to his bathroom mirror. Norris, look at this. He's used disinterested to mean uninterested, when any slack-jawed fool knows it means impartial. Yes, electing to criticise rather than create. By far the easier job, Kev. It's Ken.
And it's really nice. I really enjoyed that.
The angry young man who turned into the slightly peeved old man.
When Mel said to Ken Barlow,
Not so much look back in anger as look back in a rather bad mood.
I loved it.
It was a beautiful character, Mel Hutchwright, and it could have gone on, could have come back, but I think he's discharged a lifelong ambition of his to do something like that.
He kind of joked that he could take this part up to Emmerdale because that was a kind of joke that because he, just find Mel sitting in the wall pack. I don't want Mel being anywhere else but with us. He's our special, with me. He's our very special Coronation Street Mel, yeah.
King of the road. King of the road.
But Mel wasn't the only celebrity con man on Corrie. 2004 saw perhaps the most successful TV hoaxes of all, They didn't just con the characters, they fooled the cast. In particular, Bruno Langley, who played teenage heartthrob Todd.
I think it's fair to say we look a little bit different to the last time we saw it.
Coronation Street has been a target of ours for a long, long time. But to crack it, we knew we'd have to do something pretty special.
So we told the cast of Coronation Street the show had been sold to Japan. And to help it launch out in the East, the Japanese network was sending over their two biggest stars, Yuki and Keiko.
So these two presenters come on the street. We're outside the Rovers doing an external shot. And I saw these two little figures come along.
And actually came over during a take. And Bruno was like, it was really funny looking at his face thinking, are these for real? Because they're going, Toto, Toto, you are bigger, handsome, idol. You are idol in Japan.
We're like,
And he was just like, these girls were all over him, and he was battering them off.
Just to see Bruno's face, because he didn't have a clue. No, it was great.
And then they revealed themselves, and Bruno was hilarious.
Pardon, do you have message for fan of Anti-Deck Saturday Night Takeaway?
He's such a quiet, sort of self-contained kind of, quite respectful man. And he couldn't quite get his head round it, which was hilarious. It was awful.
Celebrities on the street don't always cause quite such a commotion, but there have been plenty of visiting VIPs over the years to get those curtains twitching.
Hordes of people, very, very famous people, who want to come into the street, and we want them in because it brightens our day.
The list reads like a who's who of famous fans. From Hollywood hotshots Alfred Hitchcock, Dustin Hoffman and Joan Rivers, British icons Diana Dawes, Cilla Black and Michael Crawford, to members of the establishment with a walk around by Margaret Thatcher in 1992.
What a lovely surprise.
But the list is crowned by Her Majesty the Queen, who came to open the newly built set of Coronation Street in 1982.
We stood in front of our homes, and the Queen came to the Rovers first and talked to Annie Walker, who was a bit deaf, and she kept saying, "What?" And she actually turned to someone and said, "What did she say?" when the Queen spoke to her.
And royalty returned to the street 18 years later for the show's 40th anniversary, when the Prince of Wales decided to drop by.
Cousin Charles, here in my house.
But His Royal Highness wasn't just visiting, he was going to take part.
I'm lunching with Prince Charles, you know.
Just you and him.
I can't stay long because I've got to get to the town hall to meet Prince Charles.
Oh, look! No. No, it's Audrey. News. Oh, no, we'll never hear the last of it.
I had to present him with this rather weedy palm plant. It was supposed to be Axephica cucullata or whatever they call these plants. But he played the game and he nodded and smiled.
What's she saying?
Although the short scene with Prince Charles was pre-recorded, it was to be included in the Street's special anniversary show that very night, the first live episode since 1961. So while the rest of the cast were getting the corrie wobbles, Sue Nichols had her mind on other matters.
I will say a huge thank you. Because of all that happened, what he did was take away for quite a while that terrible nervous tension that was looming for the evening. So I thank you, Your Royal Highness.
And the Prince of Wales wasn't the only special guest taking part in the live anniversary episode.
Oh, naughty.
A big fan of the street, Noddy Holder didn't think twice when asked to play the part of Stan Potter, brought in to help save the famous Coronation Street cobbles.
I was so chuffed because I've been a massive Corrie fan right since day one when it first started. And of course then panic set in, it was a live ep.
Just as well he didn't have many lines to learn.
So I was supposed to arrive in this taxi cab in a big flourish, doors fling open and then I jump out.
Come on, got it, Mr. Burns. It is. What's the game, mate?
Oh, cheers.
But learning lines was the least of Noddy's problems.
Every time I got in the cab on the run-throughs, the guy locked the doors so I couldn't burst out. I kept saying to him, do not lock the doors on the cab. I've got to jump out. And he just couldn't remember it.
Luckily, everything went all right on the night. A brief appearance for Noddy, but a lasting legacy for Coronation Street.
Yeah, I saved the cobbles. I was dead chuffed. Merry Christmas, everybody! Oh, that's cracking. The cobbles are still there, and I saved them.
Having a legend of rock pop up at the Rovers was a great tribute to Corrie. But little did we know, those cobbles harboured a rising rock star all of their own.
Hey, wait till your name's up in lights. It'll all be worth it.
Well, it's a marvellous night for a moon dance, with all the stars up above in your eyes.
Music was always kind of a massive part of my life, even growing up.
Neath the cover of October skies.
I remember ringing up to the production office when I first joined Corrie. I was about 13, and probably saying, hello! But I just said, I really want to sing, and if you get any opportunities, those kind of shows, and the one I was really after was kind of going on Stars in Their Eyes and say those infamous words.
Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be Will Young.
Will Young!
And actually, I got the chance to do it.
It was just over 2 years later that everyone realised a real star was in their midst when he sailed to victory on Soapstar Superstar.
Richard was just a class of everybody else, and we always knew it.
The soap star who's become the nation's superstar is... Richard!
It was a bit gutting, but I couldn't have lost to a better game.
Richard, fantastic. That's 3 months of hard work, and it's meant a lot to you.
I'll remember that night probably forever. It was an amazing opportunity.
We always knew Richard was going to be a star. And I mean, it must just be a dream come true for him.
Bloody brilliant now, but he will get better. You wait for that boy. Where did it all go wrong?
After the break, it's time for our celebrities to turn up the heat on the street.
Well, hello, Max. Still hungry?
No, I don't really have to like. I was terrified.
But before that, here's our last lot of famous faces who appeared on the street before they were famous.
Is it her we're looking for?
She said she'd ask for you next time. Her husband's a footballer.
Is that Jerry Halliwell?
Footloose and fancy free, that's me. Not him, though.
I don't know who that is either.
Well, I can only suggest you join Mr. G and try and trace him. Let me know if you have any luck.
I know him again, I just can't think who it is.
Morning, Wilcox.
Morning, sir.
Shane Richard.
Some of them girls, though, honest. They hack at me telling tales to a checker.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying any attention. Rewind it, let me have another look.
Find out who they are after the break.
Coronation Street, sponsored by Harvey's the Furniture Store, bringing your home to life.
I have often walked down the street before. All at once am I several stories high. No, on the street where you live.
Drama premieres this winter on ITV1 and ITV1 HD.
After last week's double eviction, the remaining 5 acts now do battle in the X Factor semi-final.
I'm so proud of you. Don't want this to end yet.
We have never seen anybody like you.
You are a star.
Let's have a love together.
With the life-changing recording contract at stake, your votes are more important than ever. The X Factor semi-final, tonight at 8 on ITV1 and ITV1 HD.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
We're getting them ready.
I'm ready to learn.
Ready to have a go.
I'm ready to dance.
Ready for life. Mini CITV is a dedicated preschool strand on CITV. We're committed to making sure our viewers are ready to
read, to play. I'm ready to learn.
Mini CITV.
We're ready.
Weekdays from 9:25 till 3 on the CITV channel.
Last night on The X Factor, you saw 5 acts sing live for your votes. The phone lines are still open, and here are the numbers. Calls cost 35p from a BT landline. From other networks may be higher, and for mobiles will be considerably more. Sky and Virgin Media viewers can vote using the red button. You can watch all of last night's performances again at itv.com/X Factor, and we're back with the live result tonight at 8 o'clock.
Coronation Street, sponsored by Harvey's The Furniture Store, bringing your home to life.
Welcome back to Stars on the Street.
Norris?
Rita.
Come in, Rita. Look at this.
And time to reveal those famous faces.
It's Zoe Thingy, Zoe Tyler, Kyler, Lucker, Zoe Lucker.
Who's that?
You don't remember me, do you? No, should I?
My gosh. Oh, well, that's the cherry on the cake, isn't it? It is Sir Ben.
That's Ben Kingsley, isn't it? With hair.
Come on, then what's next on the agenda?
I'll just check down the details of this check if I can.
Pete Postlethwaite, wonderful actor.
Nice one.
All quiet on the Western Front. Yes, sir.
Oh, Richard Beckinsale, straight away. And how about this fresh-faced young starlet?
And put out the scales. Sybil Fawlty.
She's gorgeous, isn't she?
Oh, it's many a time I could have just packed my bags and walked out.
So, a bundle of famous faces have moved out of the street to pastures new. But some have moved to pastures not very different at all to star in other British soaps.
I just came around the corner and something just stood up in the room. Mrs. Chadwick. Am I glad to see you, love?
Oh, I didn't know you cared. There's your keys.
You're back.
Look, I know us rights and it's a free country. You're not entitled to come shoving in here.
Mr. Ogden invited me in.
Yes.
Yeah, but what a way to go.
All right, Al, on your bike.
It's like seeing familiar faces in the wrong places, and never more so than this appearance.
So, this is your mother, Tony?
Today, we know her as EastEnders stalwart Dot Branning, but in 1970 she played the part of Weatherfield widow Mrs. Parsons.
And before you start, Mrs. Sharples, I'd like you to know why I came here tonight. It wasn't...
And June's character allowed us to see a different side of a street stalwart.
She liked acting with my character because she was allowed to be compassionate.
Do you think I could have another cup of tea, Mrs. Sharples? Yes, I think I can manage to squeeze one, lass.
And she was never allowed to be like that. So she liked me because of that, I think.
Over the years, there's been no shortage of famous faces on the nation's longest-running soap, including some of our most glamorous actresses. Ken Barlow thought Joanna Lumley looked absolutely fabulous in 1973. Over 30 years later, it was former Bad Girls star Stephanie Beacham misbehaving with Ken. And then came Rula Lenska, all the way from Rock Follies to the cobbles of Corrie.
Doing Corrie was, for me, a personal triumph. What do you think of Lewis? The atmosphere was absolutely wonderful.
Isn't she sublime? Oh, Jackie's so charming and polite.
From the moment of walking through the gates and being welcomed into the green room, then taken up to the makeup room and meeting everybody and then going on set, it was lovely, really exciting and terribly welcoming.
As flirtatious Claudia, Rula introduced Audrey to a handsome companion for hire played by Nigel Havers.
Well, I've known Nigel for a long time, and I didn't find out until the very last moment that he was playing the escort.
True to form, Rula soon turned up the heat with a cheeky ad-lib.
There was no kiss written into the script, so I thought I would just give him a quick peck on the mouth, which was lovely.
Cheers.
Ruler certainly got lucky, but some new arrivals have had to set their sights a little lower, like playing love interest to the street's resident busybody, Norris Cole.
Hello, I'm Norris.
I don't believe it.
In 2004, when former Bond girl Honor Blackman arrived for one of the steamiest storylines the soap had ever seen, it wasn't just the audience getting hot under the collar.
I was a bit nervous and apprehensive. I mean, this is Pussy Galore we're talking about.
Oh, Norris, you're not going to leave me, are you?
I hate to cut the evening short, but...
Then don't. I'm sure we can find plenty to entertain you.
She is still incredibly glamorous.
Poor Norris got into hot water, and it wasn't long before he was out of his depth.
Still hungry?
No. I mean, yes. I'll just pop downstairs for something. The crew were hysterical.
I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel quite peckish.
Yes, it's a notch on my headboard. I've had Pussy Galore on top of me.
Norris?
Rita.
Come in, Rita. Two's company, three's perfection.
So the Bond girl only got to pull the small bloke in the corner shop when she came to Corrie. Perhaps that should have sent out a warning to our next celebrity love interest, never mind the Buzzcocks comedian, Sean Hughes.
When they said, oh, you're going to be a love interest, I was thinking, well, who's it going to be? Will it be Tina O'Brien? Will I be a teacher coming in and having an affair with one of the younger characters? And then they said, no, it's Eileen from the cab office. And I hadn't been watching Coronation Street much, and I was thinking, right, OK then. Weirdly, Coronation Street, in a philosophical way, has made me realise what age I am.
Although Sean was only in the soap for 11 episodes, he managed to see a fair bit of action. Tongue action, that is.
Oh, we didn't kiss every day. Maybe 3? Come on. There's a lot of we're going upstairs now, which is always very funny as well because there's nothing at the end of the stairs, just a big drop back down.
While his character was in and out within a couple of weeks, Sean almost left a lasting legacy.
Not just Pat. Vi, we're living in a house of ill repute. Don't knock it, it's been a long time since I've had any ill repute.
Pat was going to get Sue pregnant.
It's a good job I've dumped you, because you're nothing but trouble.
They decided not to go for that storyline, but I'm kind of glad in a way because I know my mum, as she's getting on a bit now, if I'd have had a kid in Coronation Street, she'd be wanting to see the grandchildren all the time.
With knockout storylines and unique characters, the chance to be a part of Coronation Street has proved a definite pull to stars from all walks of show business. But left to their own devices, who would the cast, past and present, choose as their own fantasy stars on the street?
You mean like a celebrity?
Sue Pollard.
Oh, no!
Because she's just Corrie, isn't she?
If I could have a fantasy casting, it would be Julie Walters.
Oh, yeah. Hey, it's a good idea, is that, Stan?
I think that would be fantastic casting.
No, look, purely fantasy.
Angelina Jolie could have an affair with Norris.
I'll let you know.
Don't be ridiculous, you man. Write me a really witty scene and I'll do it, yeah.
She's back.
No one knows who might turn up next, but whoever it is, they can be sure of a warm Weatherfield welcome.
The more the merrier. Bring them on.
Life in Weatherfield will never be the same after tomorrow night. Coronation Street's 50th anniversary week starts tomorrow at 7:30 with the first ever episode. After that, you can see it at 8 o'clock. After the news next is the best of Harry Hill's TV Burp.
Harvey's the Furniture Store, bringing your home to life.
Paul O'Grady would like you to celebrate 50 years of Britain's favourite street.
Join me for the ultimate Coronation Street quiz.
As Corrie stars and celebrity fans put their knowledge to the test.
Behind me, I have a lineup of drunks, reprobates, adulterers, slappers and sleazeballs. And that's just the panel of celebrity fans. Let's see ya.
Corrie, the Big 50 with Paul O'Grady. Next Friday at 9, ITV1 and ITV1 HD.
Just take a look at this.
at a party like a Serena Blair showdown.
Party time this winter on ITV2 and ITV2 HD.
A journey can be so many things.
It can take you around the world and leave you breathless.
They're just magical. It's a chance to discover new land.
It's the most extraordinary place I've ever been in my life.
Or simply to discover yourself.
Lovely to meet you. It's the most wonderful way to share our stories.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Good evening, I'm Charlene White and here are your headlines in London tonight. The Mayor's revenge claims Boris Johnson wants FIFA chiefs to lose the privilege of staying at the Dorchester during the Olympics. Plus, Strictly Honest. Alicia Dixon chats to us about her new album